What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another High ELO Champions game, the series where I commentate on games that have a little bit more unusual picks, not your standard meta champions, and this time we're focusing on a different ADC pick, Tristana in the bot lane, alongside one of the most picked supports, I would say, Thresh. But I'm very excited to see a Tristana. Currently, the meta is being dominated by ADC champs such as Jinx and Lucian. We're now seeing Draven come up a little bit, but it has been quite some time since we've seen Tristana on the main LCS scene. I just recently saw Tristana in a San Paulo game with the Intel Extreme Masters series, so it is still being played sometimes at a high ELO, but really not very frequently. So I figured Tristana would be a nice person to do a little bit of a commentary on, see if she can stand up to Varus, who is actually more of a common pick than Tristana is. I know that Wiz Fusion on Team Coast does favor somebody like Varus. So it'll be interesting to see how Tristana fares. Currently not so well, taking a whole bunch of damage after to burn that barrier very, very early. I don't think the Ignite is going to be enough to take her down. No, it's not. So just going to go back to base and see where life will take her. But a great hook onto the Lulu, and first blood going to Thresh. So hey, you know, way to go, bot lane. So that was a pretty nice hook right there, getting the Lulu in, burning that Ignite, and making sure that they got the kill on that one. But another kind of unusual pick here. Annie is certainly not a new or unusual pick, but having her in the mid lane is definitely a bit unusual. She's normally being played as that support Annie, currently being dominating in the LCS and the world scene. Very, very strong support, but not normally played in the mid lane, so it'll be interesting to see how she synergizes against somebody who is played very frequently in the mid lane, such as a Kayle. But it looks like we got a gank coming on. The flash going down, and a great reactionary flash coming from the Kayle to get away from that one. But yeah, so some good unusual picks here. I think it should be a very fun game to commentate on. But as we were just kind of talking about the featured matchup down here with the Tristana, actually I'm not going to talk about that yet because it looks like Varus is finding himself in a bit of trouble, having to get shielded by the Lulu. The flash coming out of Tristana really wants to get this kill. The barrier coming out as well. I don't think they're going to have enough, but wow, this Thresh is making plays, flashing over that Varus and getting that kill. But now Lulu trying to get this Tristana down. The shield from Thresh is going to come out. A lot of damage going down to the Lulu, and Lulu is going to pick up the Tristana, but I think it might be at the cost of her life. The Zac coming in to do a counter gank, well, not really a counter gank, kind of get himself involved in this fight. I don't know if they're going to have enough to take down the Thresh. He's going to flay them away, but 1 for 1, great job on that Lulu's part to stick in there and take down the Tristana while her ADC was down. So very, very well played. It seems to be kind of the battle of the supports right now rather than the battle of the ADCs. But Tristana sitting there with an additional assist over top of the Varus. But as I was just talking previously about Tristana, just wondering kind of why she isn't played in the LCS very often. Her Buster Shot is not the best ultimate in the world. It does knock people back, it does knock people away, but really it's not the best escape move. It doesn't do a ton of damage, doesn't provide any sort of like hard CC, so I can understand why it's not overly played. But Tristana, I would argue, was abilingside Ezreal, has one of the best escapes in the game. That resetting rocket jump is a phenomenal escape ability, and it's on quite a short cooldown as well, so a really, really good thing to have. Most people tend to max the E first. What is that? Explosive shot, I believe. Yeah, there you go. And then it's kind of up to people's discretion. I know that a lot of people max the rocket jump just to get that mobility down. Kind of like LeBlanc maxing her W to get that mobility and make sure that she can always escape from fights, because Tristana wants to be in a favorable position. But her Q giving that initial steroid to her attack speed, which is incredible, especially when it comes to the late game. When you get 6-game ADCs, 6-item game ADCs, you really love that Q on Tristana because she just gets to attack so much faster. But as we're talking about that, Varus gets hooked in again. This Thresh is really landing the hooks that he needs to. Looks like Varus is going to be going down again, but Lulu might be able to pick up another kill here. Is she going to be? She will be able to take down the Thresh, but the reset on the rocket jump is going to be enough. And I think that, yep, the reset on the rocket jump, just as I was saying previously, is that you get those resets on the rocket jump and you can get out of pretty much anywhere as long as you have the mana. So Tristana picking up a kill there, Thresh picking up a kill. Definitely a good position for that bot lane to be in, doing a very, very good job. But Lulu, once again, just hanging in there, doing the damage that she can, and picking up a kill for herself and getting an assist for Varus. So even though Varus is getting horribly shut down, his lane partner has kind of been able to keep him in this and keep him a little bit more relevant than he would be if he was just dying without any assists. But the last thing I do want to say about Tristana, why I do love her as a late game champion, is the range that she gets in the late game with her levels. It's unbelievable how far she can attack from, and it's great for siege comps, which can just stand there, poke down at those turrets, because the turret will not even remotely be close to where Tristana is. She's so easy to just walk up, get a few pot shots off, walk back, walk up. It's so great to have a Tristana on your team, especially with that speed buff as well. So depending on how late this game goes, it could be very interesting. But Mundo getting ignited, the intervention from Kayle having to go down to keep Mundo alive, because that ignite is going to cut down his healing by 50%. Big deal. But now we're going back down, attention on the bot lane, because it has been the place of the most action, which I'm very excited to see, because our featured matchup is here. But Mundo getting jumped on again by Renekton. Kayle is going back down to the mid lane. Mundo not faring overly well against this Renekton. But now we have some action going down. Pings are going all over the place. Okay, I'm watching. What the hell do you want? The dive coming down in the mid lane. It looks like Kayle being taken down very, very low. The Tiber's coming down, and that's going to be a kill for True Marine on that Annie. And it looks like Tristana wants to try to get in here. Zac is incredibly low as well. Annie trying to build that stun back up, but it looks like it's not going to be a fight. I don't know if the blue team wants to go for this, but Zac now charging up his jump. Lee Sin doing the smart move and backing away. But Ping's now coming down onto the dragon. The purple team looking to try to do something with the blue buff here. Lee Sin currently walking towards that side, but don't think he's going to actually be able to make it in on time. The kick is going to go over. The kick and the smite. He is going to get the blue buff, and he's going to actually pop the passive from Zac. Great little play from Lee Sin here. And it looks like Mundo is going to try to make his way up here. Kale's making her way as well. The Righteous Fury is going to do a lot to this, but it's not actually going to be enough. Zac is going to be taken down, but Lee Sin was not saved in this one. Varus taking down Tristana in the midst of all this. But Renekton going very, very low. The intervention is back up for Kayle. Looks like Annie's going to try, and she is going to pick up that kill with a last Q. She's now on a killing spree, but Mundo is going to be able to clean this one up, and there we go. There's the double kill going for Mundo. Definitely not the person you want to have a double kill on. Mundo is a terrifyingly big top laner when you get him going. But now in the bot lane with Tristana being down, the purple team is just being able to take down this turret very, very quickly. I don't think they're going to have enough to actually take it down. No, they will not. Probably on the next wave if they are lucky, but currently Tristana is coming back into this lane. A hook is going to miss, and Varus is going to do a ton of damage to this Thresh. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to counter-engage very early on this, well, very soon on this one. But Mundo just pushing that wave up, making sure that Renekton is going to lose some CS. It looks like Thresh is actually going to stay a little bit. They're pinging for Lee Sin, it looks like, to come and maybe try to help with this lane. The purple team is level 6. Thresh is level 6, but Tristana right now, after that death, is only level 5. So they really do not want to engage right here. It looks like with Varus' cooldown on his ultimate, that he used that ultimate to kill Tristana while that team fight was going up by the blue team's blue buff. But here comes Lee Sin and Kayle. It looks like they're not actually going to go for this one, but Lee Sin now pinging the dragon. Kayle now kind of running away. Kayle, one of those picks that we're seeing much more frequently. Apparently we're just going to watch Zac there for a second. I think he may have, no, he has not DC'd. Kayle, one of those picks that when you get items on Kayle, especially that Lichbane, the damage that comes out of her is absolutely insane. Just chunking people down so quickly. So, and then also being able to stay alive. But wow, the Lee Sin jumping right in onto that Annie. Jumping away. I don't believe he's used his kick yet. He has not, but the ignite going down onto Annie, that'll probably be enough. The Kayle going down. Oh my god, he took so many turret shots. And the Annie lived. And the Annie gets a double kill. Ah, guys, come on. Come on. That's bronze maneuver, guys. So this mid lane Annie currently doing work. Kayle took so many turret shots. Lee Sin didn't even get his ultimate off to kick Annie back because she just positioned herself appropriately by the turret. And Kale just sitting there taking turret shots all day, ends up dying. And then Lee Sin trying to go back, and Annie's just going to burst him down. Man, you can't do a ward jump into that. You just have to try to land the Q, because that would have been enough to kill her. But, oh, man, I don't agree with that play at all. But, you know, things happen. Not everybody can make all the pro plays all the time. But I'm kind of glad to see it. It's kind of a dual unconventional pick. Annie being in the mid lane and Tristana being down in the bot lane. So I'm glad to see that both of them are doing pretty well, but Annie is currently dominating this Kale. That's been phenomenal to see. I think Annie is just going to get better and better as this game goes on, simply because of the damage going to be associated with Tibbers and that AoE stun. But it looks like the blue team is going to be taking down that dragon. It is now down. Lee Sin just smiting that one away. While Mundo and Renekton continue to duke it out up in the top lane. Currently, Renekton having a bit of a better time with the CS, 86 to 71. But I believe when we look at the gold, 3.5 to 3.9, Mundo is still in the lead because of those 2 kills that he got earlier in that blue buff fight. But kind of a great thing with this Renekton's name, Solo Renekton only. So I'm assuming with a name like that, you know how to play that champion. You're probably pretty good at it. If you're willing to change your summoner name to it. So I'm hoping to see some pretty good stuff out of this Renekton. I'm currently doing pretty well, I have to say, avoiding these ganks fairly well. The nice little juke over to the left there. I don't believe that Lee Sin is going to be able to actually make something happen here. He is only level 7, and he's going in on a level 10 Renekton. Oh, the Tibbers is going to miss. That is mightily unfortunate. Sometimes you just can't land those. And it looks like Kale is just going to take that one down. The ultimate coming out of Varus in the bot lane onto the Thresh, doing a ton of damage, but a great flash coming out of the Thresh to avoid that piercing arrow. But currently, no damage is really being dealt to the purple team's bot lane, while Thresh and Tristana are both nearly half HP. Thresh even a little bit lower than that, but it looks like we have Zac coming down in that bot lane as well. I don't know why we're so focused up on this top lane. But Zac coming down into this bot lane jungle. Zac trying to do a bit of damage to the Kale. Not actually going to land for nearly anything. Just getting a little bit of a slow there, but Kale just going to kind of mosey on out of there. Annie's ultimate is not going to be up for another probably about, I don't know, 50 seconds or so. So Kale can sleep a little bit easier. But Zac coming in, not going to land it. A great flash coming out of the Tristana, but now we do have a burned flash from Tristana, so it's going to be a very easy gank down in that bot lane if they want to try to make something happen in the next couple of minutes. So once again, just a farm fest up in the top lane. The standard meta right now, that tanky bruiser, Mundo and Renekton, very, very common lane. So Lee Sin now coming in, but the kick is not going to work. But it looks like we also, while that's all going on, a gank happening up in this top lane. The Let's Bounce coming out of Zac, and this is going to be plenty to kill that Kale. And a lot of these got bloblets to heal Zac back up. Kale not really having the best of games, 0-4-3 with only 84 CS, and compared to the 5-1-1 with 109 CS on that Annie, who just went back to pick herself up a very quick Void Staff. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that early Void Staff pickup. I know it's going to be pretty much like she's dealing true damage to everybody, but there's not really any magic resist on the enemy team right now, not even out of the tankiest members. So I'm surprised that Andy didn't go for a larger item. But not up for me to decide. The Ignite now going down onto Mundo. Renekton doing an insane job on this Mundo. Not actually going to have enough to pick him up, though, but that Ignite was perfectly timed. And Mundo just had to run away. And Renekton was even at low health while Mundo was coming back with the purchased Sunfire Cape and full HP with his ultimate. So, wow, Renekton doing a great job after popping that Dominus and just kind of chilling in the lane. And it looks like Zac is now coming down. The slow landing and the stun now coming out of Renekton. This is going to be one dead Mundo. It's going to depend on who they give this kill to. The slow is landing once again. Mundo's just going to try to buy as much time as he can. Does not avoid the jump, and the Renekton is going to be the one picking up that kill. Mundo not having a great day either. Renekton doing a very good job. 120 CS to the 95 of Mundo. Definitely evening up that score. But wow, the damage coming out of that Annie. Tristana now going to try to take her down as much as she can, but it looks like the Tristana is going to die as well. The Buster Shot coming out is going to pick up the kill, but a return kill. The Lulu picking up the Tristana, but the shutdown bonus going to Tristana, which is definitely a good news story. But man, that Annie is just doing so much damage. Just absolutely annihilated the Kayle with that full combo, and the Tibbers stun. And that is the power, folks, of the Flash Tibbers Annie. It's unbelievably strong and such a great initiate. But it looks like Lee Sin picking up those rates, not actually going to be able to make the Thresh Express, but is going to be able to get through here. But it looks like the turret is not going to be saved. That's going to be the turret for the purple team. 3 turrets to 0, 27.4k to 23.2k. Pretty big gold lead so far, only 17 minutes into this game. So the shutdown gold going to Tristana, allowing her to pick up that Blade of the Ruined King. Going to be doing quite a bit more damage, but as we can see with the item choices of Tristana, looking for a little bit more of that late game Tristana build. But it looks like we have Kayle and Tristana coming up to try their luck to kill this Renekton. His Dominus is available, so he's going to survive a little bit longer, and he does not have his Ignite up, so probably won't be able to take down this Mundo very quickly. The Blade of the Ruined King pass active is going to go down, and that's going to be a kill for the Tristana, using that Buster Shot to get the final little execute there. And it looks like they might be able to return their tower here and get their first turret of the game. So there we go. There's the first turret up in that top lane. Annie is currently waiting in the wings here. Oh, the Mundo Cleaver is not going to land. And wow, the Zac jumping in. Hero Zac trying to save the Annie. But so much damage going down. Going to burn that Mundo down so quickly. But it looks like the Zac is probably going to go down as well. They're trying to kill this Annie. A great Thresh Hook, but Kayle is just so low right now. The Zac is going to die. Tristana is jumping in here and going to be able to kill the Annie. Now on a killing spree. Zac going down to the Lee Sin. And you know what? This team might be able to actually push down a second tier turret. Tristana does have her Q maxed right now. I believe there's 5 stacks on, yeah, 5 points into that Q, maxing that one first. So being able to pop that, you're going to do so much damage to the turret so quickly. And there we go. That's a very quick return on 2 turrets for this blue team, while picking up that Annie as well, and the Zac, and the Renekton. Very good trade. But while this is all being said and done, Varus has just been able to split push this bottom, is actually going to get a second tier turret of his own, so really answering back very well. Oh no, Thresh, you are in a bad position. That bush was warded, and you are not going to be able to get out of this one. Renekton is probably going to kill you, but the Talisman of Ascension being popped, going to try to get away from this one. The slow not landing out of Lulu. So this is going to be... No, there you go. There's the Slice and Dice. There's going to be the second proc. There's the stun. There's the Tiamat's, the ultimate from Lulu to knock him up. And there's going to be a dead Renekton. Oh, sorry, a dead Thresh going to the Renekton. But with that Thresh bait, definitely ends up working out in their favor because the blue team was able to take down the Dragon. The flash coming out of Annie, and Annie's just going to start laughing at Tristana because that's... Oh my god. I'm sorry. I just have to watch that again. Let's just... I just want to see this, and I want to slow it down a little bit. So here we go. Here's the jump. And the flash from Tristana as well to try to knock back Annie. Annie's going to take a little bit of damage here. The Blade of the Ruined King. There's the proc of the Q, and there's the Tibbers, and that's going to be a very easy kill. But now we have Kayle coming in here. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to make anything happen here, especially with the Renekton coming down. The invulnerability coming out of Kayle. That is going to be a great Q landed. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but there we go. Kayle picking up the Annie, while Forgiven's Kayle is going to be taken down by Renekton. So 1-6-6. Definitely not the best Kayle game I've ever seen, but it's hard to deal with an Annie who's 8-4-3, where she can pretty much one combo your entire team. Wow, one little combo from Renekton is going to take Lee Sin to half HP. Is the kick going to happen? The kick is going to happen right alley-oop into the Thresh Hook. Pretty nice play right there. But it looks like Mundo might be taken down. A great Thresh Hook is going to hold Renekton in place, make sure that Mundo can escape that one. Lee Sin does manage to land a Q, is going to try to get in there to do some damage, but it looks like Varus is going to take down the Lee Sin. Looks like Thresh is now getting taken down very low. Varus is going to pick up a double kill. Tristana doing her best to kind of fend people off and do damage while she's walking away. That good old scoot and shoot tactic. But not going to have enough to take anybody down here. Kayle's now trying to get in, but the Zac is going to come back over this wall, not going to land the jump. And it looks like everybody's just going to try to escape this one without any more deaths occurring, especially the blue team, who need to run away right now because the Annie is coming back and she does have her flash available, but the Tibbers is not up. So lacking a bit of damage now, but still even without the Tibbers, that Annie is doing a butt ton of damage. So the purple team liking their odds, just kind of chilling in this lane. Zach just on the outside, but here comes Annie, and oh my god, Kale is dead so quickly. Could not even pop the intervention. That's how quickly that one happened. Mundo using his ultimate, getting up to about a quarter HP, but it looks like Thresh is now going to go down. Varus picking that one up. He is now on a killing spree. Looks like the purple team is now just starting to run away with this one. Don't know where Tristana ended up going, but got very, very low. I think it was the Zach. But Renekton now jumping in to probably pop down this Tristana. But no, oh my god, so much CC. The Lee Sin kicked the Buster shot, taking down the Renekton, and that's going to be a free kill going in favor of Lee Sin and the blue team. But 3-3-4 for the Lee Sin, 2-2-4 for the Mundo, 5-4-5 for Tristana, so not having too bad of a game, but when you compare it to her counterpart, Varus, 4-2-2, with 167 CS, just probably looking at that gold difference, 8.3k to 7.8k, so a 500 gold lead for Varus. Not a big deal, but you know, 500 gold can make the difference between having your last Whisper and not having your last Whisper. And it looks like we kind of have some different builds coming out of Tristana versus the Varus. Varus going for that lifesteal sustain out of the Bloodthirster, which goes very, very well with the piercing arrow of Varus, but then going for that armor shred with the last Whisper, probably to take down people like Lee Sin and Mundo, who are incredibly tanky, and same with Thresh, who's probably going to be up in the face of Varus. But Annie grabbing that not Blade of the Ruined King, already has Blade of the Ruined King, but is going for the BF sword and the pickaxe, so I'm wondering if she's planning on turning that into an Infinity Edge and really going for that late game Tristana with the crit, the attack speed, and the percentage life damage. Would be a very, very good build, but the thing is, you have to get to the late game, and right now, with the blue team losing the fights that they have and losing all those turrets, it's not looking like it's going to get to that like 40-minute mark that the blue team's going to need for Tristana to really get that ball rolling. So we have Mundo down here just pinging away on that turret. I love the sound of the Summoner's Cup hitting that turret. Boink, boink. It's just a great noise. So I don't think Mundo is actually going to have enough to take this one down. He is going to run away from that. Annie being taken super low here. Does manage to get the Timbers off, but it's going to die immediately while she goes down. The Varus did take down the Tristana as well, but Tristana taking down the Annie. Some damage still going down and being traded in this middle lane, but it looks like both teams are going to kind of walk away from this one. It was a 4 versus 3. Renekton was not even there. So surprising that they lost it. Well, didn't lose it. It was 1-for-1, but Annie being picked up, getting her Timbers off was quite an amazing feat, I have to say, considering that she was being taken so low, but getting that damage off, managing to help her team get the damage that they needed to take down the Tristana. But Tristana has to work on that CS if she's going to want to be as big of a late game factor as Varus and Annie are going to be. Zach walking around the jungle, taking a little stroll. And there he goes, jumping away. Zach not really being played nearly as much as I would like to see in the LCS. Niantanso does still play him quite a bit. Meteos hasn't played him yet in the LCS. Used to be one of his favorite champions, but he's rarely being played in the jungle now, which you know what, I really like him in the jungle. Just his ability to jump over walls and his constant mobility, great gank potential and survivability. I find makes him quite a good jungle. He also has a pretty fast clear time. But not being chosen to be played in the pro scene very often. But we once again are just watching the tanky bruiser fight up in the top lane. So many wards now going in this Baron pit. This is the next objective that's going to be attested? No, it's not attested. What the hell am I trying to say? Contested. There we go. I'm like sitting here. What the hell was that word? Oh, a little brain fart. You know, it's good for the soul. But not really anything exciting happening right now. It's kind of at the point of the game, 25 minutes, where Baron is the next objective, but no team is really hugely in the lead that they feel confident baiting this one out or really making the play towards Baron. But this is not good. A great flash coming out of the Thresh, though, managing to escape that one, but he really shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. But managing to hook the Lulu, getting a little bit of damage down with those Mundo Qs, but Lulu's just going to put on that speed buff and run away. Lee Sin landing a Q out onto whoever that was on the other side of the jungle. But everybody just pinging to B. They are really panicking here. Annie does have her flash tibbers available and that stun up, so that's what they have to be careful of. If Annie gets her entire combo off, somebody on that blue team is going to die. But it looks like the purple team does not want to have a siege fight under here for this turret. It looks like they're just going to go and try to clean up this the dragon. So ward being placed down into this brush. Renekton going to take down the pink ward that's been placed. The blue team just kind of pushing up to try to take down this mid turret, but it looks like the purple team does not want that to happen. The Zac now going in with the shield from the Lulu. The Let's Bounce coming down, and Renekton's Dominus has been popped. A lot of damage going down onto Tristana here. She's probably going to be taken down very quickly, it looks like, but the Kayle ultimate is still available. The Renekton going down. The Kayle ultimate being popped onto the Tristana. I don't think Tristana, no, she has not yet died. The Varus piercing arrow is going to try to come out to pick off the Tristana, but is not going to land. Annie was taken down. Lulu now just going to be taken down by this Lee Sin, Mundo, and Thresh combo. But it looks like Zac going to try his luck on somebody like Kayle, but not going to actually happen. Varus picking off that Tristana, and it looks like the Zac is going to go down as well. I do just want to see what happened here for the Tristana. She is running away. Varus is right on her tail, but does have a ward there. Is this going to be a blind piercing arrow? No, 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 go there. There we go. So yeah, just ended up catching up to Tristana and picking her off. But overall, great fight in favor of that blue team. That was a 4-for-1 trade. Kayle waited for that intervention for so long with Zac and Renekton on Tristana. And it just worked absolutely perfectly. Allowed Tristana to stay alive for a very long time, use the damage that she has. She now does have that Infinity Edge, so getting much closer to that late game build that Tristana wants to be at with that incredible range that she has. Currently level 13, still has 5 levels to go until she gets that maximum rage from her passive, but you know, still a pretty decent position to be in. Now only just over a 1k gold lead in favor of that purple team. So, you know, I've seen worse comebacks. This is definitely not the blue team being out of it right now, especially when you have a late game hyper carry such as Tristana. And also Kayle. When you have Kayle alive, getting back into this game, her damage is going to be incredible. And more importantly than that, everybody on the purple team is going to want to jump in, especially Annie, to try to pick off that Tristana as quickly as they can, use everything they have. But with Kayle's ultimate being available, that Tristana is going to be a lot harder to kill. So the hyper carry is going to stay alive for a lot longer in these fights. And that's exactly what the purple team need to do. They need to time that Kayle ultimate perfectly to make sure that Tristana can do an optimal amount of damage. So it looks like Mundo just building complete tank. Going to be very, very difficult to stop. The Spirit Visage and Sunfire Cape, obvious choices on Mundo. But looks like going for the Randuin's Omen as well. The Dragon being picked up by Kayle and Tristana by themselves down there, getting them a little bit more gold. Only a 300 gold lead now for the purple team. Things are really starting to even up. And I'm going to be very excited to see this next team fight, which looks like it might be happening very soon. The Tibbers and the stun are currently available for Annie, but the flash is not yet up. I would not be surprised to see the purple team wait for Annie's flash to be up. She has already built the, what boots are they? They're distortion boots. These are the boots that allow the 25% cooldown reduction onto flash. That flash Annie is so important to have just because of that initiation that she can offer. But really wants to get those flashes up ASAP as many times as humanly possible. But now we finally have a move going down onto the Baron. The purple team is now aware of this. We're going to put that ward over. Zac is a very good person to get in there and try to steal this Baron. So they don't really want to risk it right now. Lee Sin getting in there, the Lulu ultimate being popped. Lee Sin being taken down very, very quickly. The Zac Let's Bounce is coming out. Tristana sitting in a very good position, just trying to poke people down, but only really having tanky targets to hit. Lulu being taken down pretty low by Tristana's shots right now. Annie saving a big stun for that team fight, and Zac coming in at the exact right time to take down Tristana and Kayle. That was a great, great fight for the purple team. Annie waiting for so long with that W stun and managing to pick off the 2 carries that were so important to take down that early. And that's going to probably be an inhibitor for this purple team if they choose to go that route.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
It looks like they actually might be going for the Baron instead. Not entirely sure how I feel about this. You know, Lee Sin is going to be up pretty soon, but they did have quite a big minion wave going into that that inhibitor turret in the mid lane. So I think they would have been able to take that pretty quickly. But looks like they're going to be favoring the Baron here. So going to take that Baron and then probably push down into that inhibitor turret. So definitely not a bad call. And that's going to be, there you go. So, you know what? Kind of a risky thing here. Oh, the Annie being caught, though. The Ignite being taken down as well. I don't think, no, the Lee Sin is not going to be able to get in on that one. But the teleport coming down from the Mundo and a great Thresh Hook landing. This is probably going to be a dead Varus, and it looks like the rest of the team is just going to try to get the hell out of this one. People are now going to have to try to get back to base and heal up so that way they can defend their mid inhibitor turret. As we have Kayle and Tristana running straight up this mid lane. And the Thresh now popping that Talisman of Ascension to speed everybody up. The Mundo Q is not going to land, and neither is the Thresh Hook onto the Zac, but really not the end of the world there. They're now just pushing up onto this second tier turret, and it looks like that's going to be a free turret. So this is currently a pretty nice response for the blue team after losing the Baron. With Varus being down, even with the Baron, it's very, very tricky for the purple team to actually make an engagement out of this. But here comes Annie, and this is the person that we're going to be worried about. Annie taking a lot of damage, going to be kicked back by the Lee Sin. The Lulu ultimate is on, but Annie is now dead. Tristana picking up the turret and the Annie. So much damage going down onto the Tristana, though. The Kayle ultimate is not available. Zac is going to pick up the Tristana. Renekton is not going down, and now we do have Varus now up. Zac is going to jump in onto the Kayle, is going to land the jump. This is probably going to be a dead Kayle here. There's going to be the double kill. Mundo is still alive right now, but the speed up going onto Varus, not, I think, going to be enough to actually pick off the Mundo, but 2 people down for the 1 on the purple team. But, you know, in all honesty, I think that was actually a pretty decent fight in favor of the blue team, because they got 2 turrets in response for losing that Baron. That was very, very well thought out after picking up that Varus kill, knowing that the purple team couldn't really engage back on them without their ADC, who's currently doing very well with 8, 3, and 4. Manages to pick up quite a bit of gold, but it looks like the Lee Sin taking a ton of damage there. Going to have to back off. I don't know if the purple team is actually going to be able to get this turret. They're not. They're going to back off. Definitely a smart call with the Tristana being back up. Currently sitting at 8, 8, and 6 with 149 CS, but Varus with over 100 CS more than our featured Tristana here. Definitely not the best position to be in. But it looks like Zac's going to jump in, take down this blue buff, going to smite that one away. And it looks like they're going to be able to get out of that one pretty unharmed. But just looking at the gold difference between these 2 ADCs, 13,000 to 12,000. So 1,000 gold in the lead for that Varus. You know, it adds up to a lot of gold. That's nearly a pretty big item there. That's another pickaxe that Tristana does not have in comparison to the Varus. But we're getting to that late game stage with Tristana already having that Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruined King, Last Whisper combo. I wouldn't be surprised to see this is kind of the tricky position now. With the kind of last 2 item slots that you have, you're probably going to build that into some sort of attack speed crit item like Phantom Dancer or probably a Static Shiv, and then you're probably going to build a Guardian's Angel. The question is now, which one do you build first? Tristana with her long range means that she will probably be pretty safe in the fight, so you actually might want the crit and damage. Just so you can start dealing with those tanky front lines like like Zac and like Renekton a bit better. But you know, if you get jumped on, you could die very, very quickly. So you might want that Guardian Angel. So it'll be interesting to see what items Tristana chooses to build first. So it looks like we have a little bit of a fight going down in the river. Annie just waiting for the perfect opportunity to use her entire combo. Currently, nobody is really grouped up, but wow, Tristana just got absolutely blown up. And now here comes Annie blowing up that kill very, very quickly. Not even, well, sorry, the Tibbers was used, but Tibbers is now just running rampant. The disconnect coming from Lee Sin. I don't know if he actually disconnected there. Yeah, it looks like he's just running back to base. So this is definitely not good. So Lee Sin is going to be taken down here. A little bit bad sports. Well, you know, they don't know that Lee Sin disconnected. It is kind of unfortunate, but yeah, he was just kind of running through them. Kind of a bad mechanic when you're coming from the enemy team's jungle. But a lot of damage going down onto this inhibitor. Tristana is going to be up in 10 seconds, going to be the only real major damage threat that's going to be coming back. But currently they do have a very large minion wave. This might very well be GG in favor of the purple team. Thresh doing his best to try to keep people off this turret, but this is definitely going to be GG, even with Tristana coming back. Not going to be enough to save this Nexus. So GG for the purple team and that mid lane Annie, who just had a dominant game. But you know what? Varus bringing it home in the late game, 10-3-5. But you know, in all honesty, 8-9-6, really like not a horrible game coming out of the Tristana. Definitely had some very interesting and cool plays coming out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one, seeing a bit of an unconventional pick down in that bot lane and also in the mid lane with that Annie. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.